Hello students, this is Videsh. You are watching Virus Academy YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss a few important forms that you should mention in your examination in paper 4 corporate law CA final. These forms are applicable for old as well as new course students as well. Okay, so it is not possible for every student to cover all the forms which are there in the study material. That is not worthy also. So what I did is I made a summary of the top 20 forms which are must and should everybody has to learn. Okay, these forms are based on the recent amendments as well as the real life importance for these forms, and ICA is expecting you to mention in your answers these forms. Okay, let us discuss those forms first. Okay, this is a very short video, and so you can go through this video and revise it immediately. It takes mostly 30 minutes time to watch this video as well as to revise. Okay, don't miss this video, watch till the end. Let us start. Let us start with the chapter, directors chapter, which is very important and related to DIN number, that is director identification number related forms. There are three forms related to director identification. One is DIR3, DIR3 KYC, web, and DIR6. What are those? So the base section for all these forms is section 153. What is there in section 153? Every person who intends to be appointed as a director in an existing company has to make an application to the central government in form number DIR3. DIR3 contains all the details like name, father's name, proof of residence, address, and all of the details. Okay, that will be there. After going through all the information, central government will allot a DIN number to him within 30 days of the receipt of the application. This is the usual procedure. What is the application that a director will use to apply to the central government? That is DIR3. Okay. Then what is DIR3 KYC and web? That is the second form. So this is the amendment for May 2020 examination. This is very important. And what is DIR3 KYC? So this is mandatory for every director to fill this KYC norms. KYC means know your customer, as you all are aware. Every director has to annually fill this form DIR3 KYC after he getting allotted the DIN number. Okay, there is one form will be there. If you can just type in the Google, you will get a complete from the MCA portal. The form will be there. He has to fill all the details, like all the basic details he has to mention. So once he made in 1 year, suppose if he fills the data, for example, let me take an example. For financial year 1920, he got a DIN number. A director got a DIN number. In 2021, he has did this KYC norms also. He has completed on 31st March. Now in 21-22 financial year, now we are running in the 21-22 financial year. Did he need to do again the KYC norms? The answer is no, because it creates a duplication, and he has already did it in the 2021 financial year KYC norms DIR3 KYC. Again, he need not fill the entire details again. For that, MCA has notified another form called DIR3 web. Using this DIR3 web, using his some OTP authentication, he can just submit the details. So for example, there is no change in the email ID, address, anything. There is no change between the 2021 financial year and 21-22 financial year. What he can do on 31st March 2022, what he can just simply do, he just need to put his DIN number and submit button, and he will get some OTP to his mobile number. Type that OTP, submit the button, submit that, and it will be submitted, and he complied with the requirements. So there are two forms that were mentioned. One is DIR3 KYC, DIR3 web. Let me tell you the difference. DIR3 web is a basic KYC, sorry, DIR3 KYC. DIR3 KYC is a basic details of the KYC norms of every director. He has to file in the first time only. Okay, DIR3 web is a repetitive one. If there are no change in the details mentioned in the KYC form, he just need to authenticate the same details using a mobile number OTP. Okay, that's about the difference. For example, in the same example, 21-22 he has used DIR3 web form, and he completed using the simply OTP. For example, in 20-23 financial year, there is some change. His email ID has changed, his mobile number has changed. Which form he has to use? DIR3 web or DIR3 KYC? The answer is DIR3 KYC he has to use. He has to update the details because the KYC details has changed. So he has to update the details. Okay, I hope that you understand the difference. Now let's move on to the another form, that is DIR6. What is DIR6? For example, you have mentioned few details about your address and all other basic details in while filling the DAR number 3. But there are few changes. Your address was changed. Okay, and for example, you have your passport number or any number has been changed. Your PAN number has been changed. So there are few changes, right, between the original data and now. So you have to intimate these changes within 30 days of such change to the registrar in form number DAR6. So DAR6 is basically if there is any change in your details which were mentioned in the DAR number 3, within 30 days of such change, you have to inform to the registrar in DAR6 that these below particular details were changed in my application. Okay. Now there will be a confusion and there will be a question that DAR3 KYC is already there, which is giving an opportunity to the director to update his details every year. This is an annual compliance, right? Then why again DAR6 will be required? So this is a valid question. That the answer for this question is DAR3 KYC is an annual requirement, annual mandatory requirement that every director has to fulfill. But DAR6 is not an annual requirement. This is any time you can apply DAR6. For example, you are standing on 1st April. On 30th September, there is a change in the particulars that you mentioned in the DAR number 3. Okay. Now, you cannot do DAR3 KYC because DAR3 KYC is an annual requirement. For these changes, you can use DAR6. The 30th September, you got some changes in your details, and before 30th of October, you can apply using DAR6 and you can change the details. At the annual and year ending, using DAR3 web. DAR3 KYC, DAR3 KYC you need to use. For using DAR3 KYC, you can update these details as well. Okay, so basically for our understanding, DAR6 is any time you can apply. DAR3 KYC, you can change the details only at the year end. Okay, that is the basic difference between these two forms. That's why these two forms are still existent. Okay, this is about DIN number related forms. Now we will move on to the DAR11 and DAR12. Now, the base section for this is section 168. What is section 168? Resignation by a director for his directorship. That's about section 168. Any director, if he wants to resign and he has to give a notice to the company, once upon receipt of a notice and the company will accept that resignation, what is the duty on the company and what is the duty on the director? By resignation, the director's duty is to, within 30 days of the resignation, he has to mention to the registrar two things. One is he has resigned from his directorship, and second thing is the reason for his resignation. This is very important. He has to give a brief summary of why he resigned to this particular company. That he has to mention to the registrar. This is within 30 days. That in which form he has to mention that DAR11. DAR11 he has to mention to the registrar. What is DAR12? This is the duty on the company's side. On receipt of the resignation, within 30 days of the receipt of the resignation form, this company has to inform to the registrar in DAR12. Thus, this particular director has resigned from his directorship. So this is about DAR11 and DAR12. DAR11 is for the director. DAR12 is for the company. Okay. That is about these two forms. The next form. So appointment and qualification of directors chapter is over with this, and we are going to get on to the another chapter called appointment and remuneration for managerial personnel. Okay. Now we are discussing about section 196. What is section 196? Section 196 about the appointment of the managing director, full-time director, or manager. Okay, there is some procedure mentioned there. So for the compliance requirements, upon appointment of any of this, that is manager, managing director, full-time director, anyone is appointed, within 60 days of such appointment, company has to file a form with the registrar, that is MR1. MR1 form they have to use to file with the registrar. Okay, it is very simple. This form upon appointment of these three posts, and they have to file a form with that is MR1 with the registrar within 60 days of the appointment. Okay. Now we have covered all the forms which were there in the directors chapter. So before moving on to the other forms in the other chapters, let's stop this video here. So I'm making these short videos of 10 minutes videos only because I want to save some time of you. So you can directly go, and if it is a 10 minutes video, you can easily access and complete this video faster. That's the reason why I'm making these part videos instead of making a 1 hour length of video. Okay, let's discuss the other chapters forms in the another video. That is video part number 2 and part number 3. We will cover all these forms. Okay, signing off as of now. Bye.